Hi.
You're not Shaquila.
No, Nicole Wells Stallworth.
And I love
reporting
Nicole.
for duty.
Yes. I think I sent you about 4 words, like, hey, can you do this thing? And you're like, yes.
And I sent you back too.
Yeah. And you're
Yeah,
like,
sure.
What time? I mean, that's how much, I think we're kindred spirits also, but you're a fancy generalist.
Oh.
So you're more than a generalist. You're like a fancy generalist.
That's a good, thank you. That's
could
a good
use that.
description.
Yeah.
I like that.
You could just be thrown in. I like to think of
To
myself a
things.
little bit like that, but you're like, maybe I'm even more polished or have a little bit wider breadth or something. But I'm like, we were at vacation all week, as I was telling you, family vacation, with one of our guests. And, our first guest. I did like no real work or prep or communication to you.
Yeah.
And you weren't like sending
Freaking
me,
out?
cursing me out yesterday or anything. I was like, here's a couple of texts. So.
Well, we can go with the flow.
Yeah.
You and I have history. Oops, we have some history.
You'll get used to that thing.
Yeah,
after
this
a
thing
minute.
is it's a lot. It's in my personal space.
It is, yeah.
But no, we have history. We have personal history, and we have a good vibe. We can banter.
Yeah, I get you.
I get you. I feel like I get you.
We don't have problems either. We never had any problems.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
Because you know people.
Yeah. So the guest that we have right now is actually someone that you can do the heavy lifting on interviewing because I know them pretty well.
Yes.
That would be my only sister.
Oh, your only sister.
My only sister.
I'm so excited.
Just the one, but she's special for a lot of reasons. I mean, she's smart and funny, and she's a musician, but she's also been brave enough to tell a really personal story in the last 6 months or so that's gotten her a lot of press. Actually, we'll get into the fact that she's going to be on 60 Minutes next.
Yeah, that's going to be
and I get to,
very good, exciting, interesting, and just, probably a little bit of angst that comes with that.
Yeah, well, I watched her film it, though, and she was so good. Anyways, the point is, we thought we should get to know her a little bit more, or people should, and you are going to help with that.
I'm looking forward to that. I have sisters myself, and I have chosen sisters, too.
Yes.
And the sister relationship is just so special.
Yeah.
And it's special to have watched you. You've been an advocate, a vocal advocate. You've done op-eds, really talking about your sister's story. That's how I got introduced to her.
Yeah.
And I sent you
and
a
the topic
note.
too, right?
The topic. I had no idea.
There were so many people haven't.
I was like, what is this?
Yeah. And it's, don't get me started. I promise not to monopolize, but it is sometimes you bump into this like little kernel of a thing or a niche thing, and you just feel like no one else is doing this work. And like, we're talking about Kratom and these gas station drugs that people are getting addicted to, and they're suffering alone. Because anyway, we'll get into all that a little bit. But the point is, it was just like, grab this, do this.
Yeah.
And she has been brave, and we should talk to her now. But she has just been so open, and I think it's really powerful and generous to other people that need to hear the message. So,
yes,
Melanie.
Absolutely. Melanie.
Hello.
I feel like we should be hearing applause claps for you. Like
we can probably
applause.
edit that in.
Melanie, sister.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, I feel like I know you a little bit, just having read about you, never meeting you in person. Yeah, your
That's
reputation precedes you.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to hear.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be open, put it all out there.
Yeah.
So,
And there's some days that it's hard, right?
yeah, some days. But in general, I would say that everyone has been so supportive and so kind. And it's been a really healing experience for me. And Lindsay's kind of been a champion for me in that way. And I'm thankful for her bravery and everything, her vision, putting me out there, because it's been a really healing, an unexpected healing kind of part of this whole story.
Yeah. Well, Lindsay, your sister, has such an advocacy background.
She does, yeah.
And so she kind of knows how to get visibility for something that's important really fast. And she's been able to do that. But tell us a little bit about you. I feel like we need to hear who are you? How would you describe yourself? Who are you? Tell us a little bit about your background and sort of how you came to be in the public light.
Okay. Well, I am a stay-at-home mom to, I've got 3 kids, an 11-year-old, 4, and close to 2. And so I really, being in the media and stuff is like, that's very far outside of the scope of my day-to-day stuff. I kind of go back and forth from being like just
people throwing stuff at you.
Nobody's, exactly. Like very unglamorous, right? To I've had some really beautiful experiences in the last year of kind of, being given a chance to put myself out there. And, I had, so basically my story with Kratom, which is why I've, had these opportunities, is right after the birth of my second child, I got introduced to Kratom. Had some really like heavy hitting targeted ads throughout my whole pregnancy.
Right.
Like it was a feel free beverage, and it was just like supposed to be like a safe, natural energy focus enhancement thing. So anyways, tried it and then got wickedly addicted and spent the next 3 years probably just kind of battling that.
Wow.
Really difficult. It was a really difficult battle, but it was hidden most of the time. It was not something like, it just felt like something that like nobody's ever heard of this.
Right.
Like what are they going to think? Like I didn't even know what to think about it.
Yeah. We were just saying, before I read the op-ed that was published, that Lindsay had written and published under Bridge magazine, or Bridge News now, I think it is, I had never heard of Kratom. And that's just me. And so that was an educational experience for myself. So I can imagine you going through this and then not realizing that this is happening and maybe kind of figuring, oh my goodness, how can this be happening?
Yeah. It definitely felt like it was some shameful thing that like I myself had like dug up this accidental like drug basically.
Right.
And then gotten hooked to it. And it's like, come to find
You
out.
felt weak, right? You felt like,
Oh yeah. No, I felt like what is wrong with me? Like this is
Oh my goodness.
Not considered, at the time, like even if I would look it up online, right? Like I would get a lot of conflicting information.
Oh, and
everything from like, it's just like coffee.
The promotion.
There is something out there that says it just, you can take it and it just gives you a little more energy.
Yeah.
There's things.
$16 billion industry, and they have a real strong
They have a
propaganda
great shadow
game.
ban program.
Yeah.
They really
Where
do.
they don't put the facts make it to
No,
the
they're
Google
actually
searches.
buried. Yeah.
They don't. Yeah. And actually, yes. So feel free the particular, concoction that I got hooked on, like they didn't even put that there was Kratom in it when I like first started taking it.
Botanical tonic.
Botanical
tonic.
blend was like all that it was.
Yeah.
And so
And they
It
push
sounds very
kava.
inviting. Botanical? Wow,
Yeah.
that's a great
it looks
word.
so
sounds-
healthy on like
And
the Instagram ads.
what was the packaging like?
Pretty beautiful.
It's just like a little
pretty, right?
blue
Like-
glass bottle, but like they really did a good job, the marketing team, of like kind of rebranding this product to like the Kratom part of it to something that's like, oh, this is a high-end supplement. Like I think
Supplement, wow.
like
Sometimes they're like they go after the sobriety, sober curious, elevate your relaxation routine.
it's a relaxation ritual. It's a
Ritualistic.
ritual.
So it's a blue
beautiful
glass
ritual.
bottle with a pineapple on it. And think of a 5-hour energy, but at Whole Foods, right? Like meaning the marketing is simple, it's glass, it's blue. It's looks like something that demographic would buy.
Yeah.
No, it
looks elevated.
Nice. It looks certainly not dangerous. It
Correct.
looked like, it didn't look like a drug that was going to have me like strung out and reeling for the next 3 years of my life and like facial sores and in and out of not in and out, but I did end up in the psych ward for 3 days after withdrawing from this stuff because that is how,
Involuntary.
because that's how bad it
And that's common experience.
yeah.
And so this is something that is available. Like, where did you first pick it up at? Or you saw it, it was advertised to you. Did you do like an online order? Was it like on TikTok shop where you grabbed it? How did you
I saw the
get a hold of
ads
it?
throughout my whole pregnancy and was like, put a pin in it for like after because I was like, oh, I'm not going to try it. I mean, I just was like, oh, a new thing. But, you're not trying new things when you're like 6 months pregnant or whatever. So I was just like, oh, this looks interesting. Wasn't like something I was like dying to try. But then it was just like behind the counter at a corner store.
You walked in somewhere and you saw it.
I saw it. Yeah. And then I was like, I'll give it a shot. And it blew me away. Like in some ways, I think that I was addicted after the very first experience because it was just like, it opens a door in your brain, you know something's available. And if you don't have all the negative connotation, if it doesn't have all the, the gritty details behind it.
It's like it doesn't seem like it's not an opioid or it's not like crack or anything.
It is
like
an opioid,
that.
but they won't tell you that it is.
Well, yeah, but it's not like it's not for you. It wasn't something that it's like, oh, this is a dangerous drug. I should stay clear. I should steer clear of it.
Idea.
She didn't buy it from a guy named Mel, in the alley or whatever. Right. Oh, your name's Mel. Sorry.
Right. No, it's.
I mean, I don't know why I said Mel.
It might not be Mel. We don't know.
I just I wanted to pick like a very neutral name.
Yeah, I knew what you get.
Could be a woman, man, any race.
Yeah.
Anyways,
any gender.
Mel,
This is a total
Mel the drug
aside,
dealer.
I've never liked
total
Mel
sidebar,
as a short name. I always
nickname.
to me was like a sweaty, like 45-year-old man, like maybe a drummer.
Well, he's 45 old now.
Who's a drummer?
No, actually, no, it's not.
Oh my
that was
goodness.
what I said as a child,
and
I was like, oh, ancient.
Dealing crack, dealing opioids in an alley.
He's a bad guy.
That is interesting.
That's our Mel.
That's your Mel.
Well, her mom and our mom would yell at me if I would say, Melanie, it's Melanie. But the funny thing is I have a Maxwell now who she calls Max. And I'm like, Maxwell. Anyways.
Well, there's that. That's a little sidebar. We'll have to get back to that with the sister dynamic.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And the family dynamic too. Like
So there's a lot there, girl.
There's a lot to unpack.
So you didn't see Mel in an alley.
No.
This was totally.
It seemed like it was totally, above board.
Very above board.
Yes.
And isn't it true that once either you or your husband shared with the kind of gas station owner nearby what this stuff was and what happened to you, he stopped selling it?
Yes.
Oh, he did stop selling it.
It was kind of, years into the whole situation.
Like you made a lot of money on the whole thing.
Yeah, I think.
But you bought it. Did you buy it from the store? From them?
I would buy it from them, but then once I got kind of hooked on it, then I was finding other places because even though, it kind of sneaks up on you, like the knowledge that you're in a full-blown addiction with something that you didn't suspect. So I think I had some shame coming up by the time I was starting to buy it every day or maybe multiple times a day that I kind of, you kind of
spread your vendors out.
Yeah. You figure out who's selling
Which
it.
This is the thing too. That is such a typical addiction story, right?
It is.
Is
It
that
really
your daytimes start to be in the little beast you have to feed inside of you, which is the physical withdrawals or addiction.
Yeah.
Is like, we're going to get it next. Where are we going now? What time are you going to get it? And that voice is and it's scheming, right? And that's but what's so insidious and harmful about this, and I think honestly where my heart is at in this is that people are doing this secretly and they're suffering silently because of the stigma and
the shame.
And the lack. Yes, and you've not just have an industry that like, okay, yeah, now we figured out this stuff is opioids, it shouldn't be on the, but they're lying to people actively still. As I just read an article yesterday in Ohio, guess how many bottles of Feel Free, that brand, one brand they sell,
Feel Free.
Feel Free. That's the brand that and a lot of people get hooked on the brand. They have a special blend of stuff in there. They won't even tell you everything that's in it, but that one is very known to be like very addictive. How many bottles a day do you think they sold in Ohio?
How many do you think? I have no idea.
59,000 bottles of Feel Free a day in Ohio.
Oh my gosh!
Just 5 Hour Energy, which we know is like
and more than
everywhere.
outsold 5 Hour Energy. Like that, and the point is all these people are suffering, and no one's talking. No one's even say, "Hey, we'll put this in the news, so maybe you can go talk to your parents about it or your sibling." Like it's going to be real. Make it real.
I think this is something that you had mentioned before about the shame and stigma of addiction, really, and this is something that you really were unsuspecting that this might be dangerous.
Yeah.
Did your family know?
No, they didn't know for the longest time.
How long when you say longest time,
Well,
how long is the longest time?
they didn't know all the details until basically I'd been sober, I think, for a while from it, enough to like where I'm like, okay, I'm healing. I'm really not going back. I can kind of like air all the dirty laundry.
Because you don't want to give up your secrets either, right? Like addicts
you
are
have to
like,
get
what if
back
I need
to
it?
it?
What if I need
Right.
it? Yeah.
Even if you start to know that it's harmful for you, there's like the like just like fear that like I'm not going to be able to get along
It's like
without
that bad
it.
ex you might go
Or
back to.
if
or
I say
something.
something about it, it'll trigger something in my mind, and then
Yeah.
it'll remind me to go find it again.
Yeah. And then, yes. And I'm the youngest, and there's a lot of like family of 4. I don't know. There's just a lot of people that love me and support me and care about me, but that also comes with kind of eyes on you and
Babying
people
you.
that you can hurt, you know, with your mistakes. And so that's, you know, I'm so thankful now, like for the way that my family stepped in for me. But at the time, it just felt like, oh my gosh,
Oppressive.
like everybody's got to see this like major failure of mine, you know, and
Yeah.
it's front and center.
I just have to say that people who have overcome addiction and who deal with it and who have had the courage to overcome it are such heroes. People don't realize how much addiction will have a person basically in a chokehold.
Yep.
Not themselves,
Yep.
not able to act in their own will. Something else has taken over.
Yeah.
And to be able to confront that every day and the time that it takes and the courage that it takes, and to really confront like the feelings about it, the shame, the guilt, that is so courageous. And I want to offer you that because we have to really get rid of this stigma about addiction.
Yeah.
Many people have dealt with addiction. So many people have dealt with it. And I just have to applaud people who have done it.
And it's kind of an extra hill they have to climb a little bit every day. You know, the AA thing is kind of like every day you have to re-choose it every day kind of thing. And it's
Every
like, you
single
know,
day.
it's the thing that a lot of us don't have to add of our stack of stress in any given day.
Oh my goodness.
You're both
try to make
mothers,
good
so you'll
choices.
understand that, like, you know, it was a tough adjustment going from 1 to 2 kids and then 2 to 3 kids. And it's like half the time I wasn't even thinking about myself and my own like feelings and needs in a way where it's like, I want to support myself. It's just like, I just needed to be able to do the things I needed to do. And it didn't really matter. You know, sometimes we put ourselves less, right? Like, as
we
far
don't
as,
eat, we don't whatever. We're just trying to get the kids
Yeah.
chores. Like
And that's not
I'm
even
not
something
thinking
you
about
think about
optimizing myself.
You're not conscious of that. No,
Yeah.
you are naturally just kind of taking care of the people you're responsible for.
Yeah.
And the people you have relationships with that you care about, like your siblings and your parents and all that.
Yeah.
You know, this didn't come to mind as we were going through this conversation or as I was thinking about your story. But I think I may have texted you this when I texted you about what I read, that I lost my brother to addiction.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
I?
You did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's been a minute. And there, I got a lot of like, but you.
And I just remember his life and the things that he had to deal with and the shame. And I don't think he would mind me sharing this, just for people to know that there's a lot that you have to go through in order to overcome that. And for you to have the courage, and now you're out telling your story and really bringing light to something that is really going to be transformative for other people. It's going to really save lives. And I just want to say thank you for that.
Yeah.
I don't mean to get emotional.
No, that's
I don't
thank you.
know if I'm going to get emotional
very important.
because I loved him. I love my brother.
Yeah. When? Remind me when.
October 2021.
Oh, not that long ago. Mm-hmm. And how old
and he dealt
was,
with it
Was,
pretty much all of his adult life.
And, you know,
And it was well known. I mean, everybody knew, and it was kind of something that we didn't really talk about
yeah.
yeah.
because of the shame. I mean, he was
Right.
he was not proud of it. And so he would hide it. He would try to hide it. It wasn't really,
Yeah.
it didn't work, but
And right. And I think when people are really in their addiction, they maybe think sometimes they're better at hiding it than they are.
yeah, I mean, it's just a natural thing. You hide
right.
it. You hide it. You're
And
hiding it.
So you know the family knows, and there's fear, and I think the truth is, like, to say like, oh, you've done, you know, like with the advocacy portion, like I think we all, being a loved one of an addict, I mean that's why Al-Anon and all these other things exist, because we don't really know what we're doing either.
No.
You're just trying to do your best. And I mean, I think there's, I hate to say tough love, maybe at times, but most of it's just like, how do I help this person feel loved, safe, but like not in any way help them keep hurting themselves.
Yeah.
It's a
And
tough
then I think,
thing.
I was telling her the other day, the anxiety of kind of like, worrying about the relapse, right? Like that's a thing that your loved ones carry too. And again, I'm not looking for, the point is like, I'm sure I've made mistakes as a loved one of an addict, just like an addict make mistakes as they try to recover from addiction, because you're just trying to navigate this thing that it's a little bit, I know it's natural and it's widespread, but it's an unnatural thing because it kind of takes over. It just takes over everything.
It takes over, and I think that's where that's why, I see people who overcome addiction as such superheroes in the families to support you, because it is unnatural and it does take over, and it just takes so much of yourself to overcome it.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't, as a sibling or as a family member to a loved one, you don't want to enable them, but you also want to make them feel loved and accepted. And you don't want them to go out there and be gone.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, until you said, like, I was advocating with like not telling people, but then eventually you were like, I think once you got in your sobriety enough that you were kind of pissed off, like we all were, like, this is wrong. Like these companies are actively lying about something that's really high stakes, like your life.
Yeah, your
and
life.
this is,
oh my goodness.
And it was kind of like she was at that point. I think
your livelihood.
You're literally, everything. Addiction will take everything.
Yeah.
And you were kind of like, almost like, put me in. Like I want to enlist in fighting this. Like this is wrong.
It took a while before I even moved to the place where I could like give myself any kind of grace. I can be kind of hard on myself internally, and like that's why I'm really thankful for Lindsay and the way that she's put it out. It's like she's really helped take the shame out of it for me, which is something I was just thinking about too as you guys were just talking, is like that's the hard thing with addiction, because you don't just deserve grace once you've recovered. Like we can apply that to the addicts that are still suffering.
Yep.
And they're making such a hard
they're making
thing.
bad choices,
Yeah,
but they're stuck at that moment.
that's absolutely right.
And that's where it's such a complicated thing, because I understand how hard that must be for a family member, right? To see like these, like the ghost of somebody that you loved, pretty much like trying to go through the motions of their daily life. And that's got to be really hard. But I am so thankful for my family, because they have really kind of made it clear to me that it's just like, we don't just love the version of you now that's recovered,
We love you.
We've loved you the whole way through.
And we love you.
Yeah.
And I think that that's so important. And I didn't mean to talk about that in a way that seemed like, oh, if you've overcome it.
No, not at all.
What I want
Not
to
at
say about that is that, there's something very powerful about being in a family, or having people who love you enough, who love you and who are going to accept you in all of your parts.
Yeah.
And also who are going to fight for you to come out.
Yes.
And remind you that you're capable of it. And I think that's also important, even for people who don't have that. They're still capable of it.
Yes.
I think the triage mindset is not, it's not always executed perfectly, but I think it's like, I would say overwhelmingly, we've got two older brothers. I've got two older brothers, me, and then Melanie. I mean, there's a mental health crisis in our country. We've got, I'm sorry, but being a mom is still, we're not the 1950s anymore, but I think we looked at her life with these two little ones and the school, and we were like, I don't know how I'd do that. Meaning, like, the reality is like, it's not shocking that people are looking for energy tonics,
or a way to relax, and a way not to drink alcohol.
Yes,
like, what
exactly.
else can I do
right?
here?
Like, I want my body
besides go take a nap.
Like, right. And your kids are all, her kids, like, they adore her. In a way that they're usually on her. One of them or more is on her.
Oh, that's
and the
precious.
point is that our response was almost always like, how do we get her life easier? This is to a lot of moms out there. Like, it's just, no shade against dads or anything like that, but like, just like the thing of being a mom and having multiple small kids. The point is like, I think our thing was like, how do we actually just get her the support that she could even try to win this battle?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, every day you wake up, this person's screaming, and that person needs that, and this,
somebody's climbing all
And I'm
over you,
withdrawing.
And she's withdrawing.
and somebody's hungry, and and oh my goodness, there's a crisis that doesn't belong to you today,
and the amount of
that you
times
have to solve.
she's trying to withdraw with 3 kids, it's like it's impossible.
So, how did the withdrawal process happen? What was that moment that made you be like, okay, I need help. I can't do this on my own.
To be honest, I never quite got that. Well, I did. Okay, I got to that point, and I tried to go through that myself, like secretly, like 100 times. Like seriously, just about every weekend, I was like, I'm going off. This is it. I got to muscle through the next 72 hours or whatever it is.
Just side note, I'm deep in the kratom community. This is always typical too, because it's a thing that people don't know. Everyone tries to do it themselves over and over and over, and it's impossible.
That is absolutely,
makes sense, right?
And I would try to get help from local rehab, like checking out the outpatient programs or what, all of it. But early on, they were like, we don't even
know what this
kratom,
is.
like
right.
Insurance doesn't cover it.
Insurance
It does
doesn't
now.
cover it.
It does now, but or some.
at
Or
that
I was
point.
educating the intake person on like what I was even addicted to, and that made me feel like even more of a freak,
Yeah.
So, both times that I got some real sobriety, which happened once, I would say, man, the timelines are fussy, but like 10 months maybe after my second child was born. Mm-hmm. And I had a period of sobriety, and then had a big relapse after my third child was born.
Okay.
So got a couple of different periods of sobriety here, but both times it was because I just totally crashed and burned to the point where the family had to
Crazy
step in.
eyes. Okay. She showed. I think both times
You
involved.
said you were hospitalized for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
This last summer, my husband and I took the whole family to Indiana for a week to try to, because it's not legal there. So we were trying to, get me away from the temptation.
Forced detox.
Forced detox.
For a week, though.
A week, yeah.
Yeah, that
And
doesn't work.
I lost my mind because I was having panic attacks like all day long, like extreme panic attacks, so much where I just I didn't even know what was up and down. I thought my whole life was ruined. I thought, all these things, and it's like, now looking back, it's starting to sound crazier and crazier with every month that goes on, and the healthier I get. But at the time, I was just so in the thick of this, like trying and failing and fighting and hiding and all these things, that it was just like I didn't know what was up and what was down, and I really wanted to die. And I said that to my husband, and he had to call the cops on me for a welfare check. He did the right thing. Yeah, and it's just a really traumatic day for him. Like I was able to sort of like laugh at the craziness of it like pretty soon after bouncing back, because I just don't know what else to do, I guess. So that's kind of my coping mechanism.
We tend to use humor in our family, and
it's a good healing. It's medicinal.
Yeah.
Laughter can be.
I mean, she took. By the way, it seems like every time you really went off the deep end, you wanted to run barefoot places.
It's just very primal sense. Yeah. So as soon as he called the cops, I kind of was like, I'm not doing this. And I just like snuck. I feel like I turned into like Jason Bourne or something, like
in your mind.
In my mind, yes.
In your
I
mind.
probably wasn't that smooth, but in my mind, I was like, I got this. Like I'm going. I ran out my back door and like sneakily like
in the field.
ran and hopped a fence and then like hid in a ditch in a field behind my house. Like the cops were about to send in the canine team
To find me.
Which I'm still a little bit proud of, like my success. I
No
guess.
shoes.
I was
What were
wearing
you
like
wearing?
a pajama top and cut off jean shorts and barefoot, and I just I was gone.
And
like,
this is
She came back a couple days after you were like coming to. She's like, I had mulberry stains all over my feet.
I was trying to figure out what was all over my feet in the emergency room. They're like, "What is this?" I was like, "Mulberries." Because I was like army crawling, like doing
You were
some
up,
mileage.
were you up in a tree at one point?
I can
No, I
only
was
imagine
under the mulberry
visuals
trail.
of this.
It was pretty intense. I still shiver sometimes thinking about what the body cam footage must look like of my like.
What did you do?
'Cause, like,
You ripped your shirt
I did
in
rip
half.
a shirt in half. I threw a
Threw
little
a-
bit of deck furniture around. I think I said like, I am the police at one point in time.
Ah.
My
don't know.
dad's cop. I mean,
I
she's
don't know.
like,
At this point in time, you're just it's just all
You're just
emotions
saying
and no rationale, right? And
You're just doing stuff.
I felt like a cornered, wounded animal, and nobody
Yeah.
got me, and I didn't care. I wanted to burn every bridge, and I just wanted to be as disorderly as possible.
And in the hospital, because I think the cop, the woman cop, because I came to help grab the kids. She was very polite and sweet, but she's like, yeah, she's gonna go. Like, i.e., like if one of y'all don't do the paperwork, we're doing it. She's like, I just watched
She's
this.
gonna get admitted.
She's like, yeah. She's like, he's gonna do it, or I'm gonna do it. Yeah,
Somebody,
okay.
one of us is
We're
gonna
like,
do it.
yeah, we're gonna do it. But apparently, you were still in the thick of it in the hospital room when you were telling. Weren't you telling the nurses? Weren't you abs? I mean, she's a pleaser, a lot much more timid or whatever, nice than me, gentle than me. And you were like, you were
usually
telling
really
them,
nice.
I'm not coming with you. I'm not doing this.
I was rude. I like apologized to all the hospital staff after like the first couple days. Well, because it was either me just being like, I'm like not gonna cooperate in ways that don't make any sense. Like ask, like my head hurts, so they're like, oh, you want some Tylenol? And then I'm like, I'm not gonna take it, or like I'm not gonna put shoes on. Like things is like, who are you showing with that? Like nothing. I was going back and forth between that and like calling my oldest brother to just like scream cry at him and be like, let me out. Like he's like, you're in the hospital. You're in the hands of.
And he's like, and I think
nothing
eventually
I
he
can
was
do.
like, no.
Yeah.
No, you should be here. And I'm like,
you need to be there. And how long were you there?
I think it was about 4 days. It
4
was
days,
only like
just like for a detox period.
Yeah, it's a detox.
yeah.
They have to know you're not harmed yourself or others. And then, frankly, though, I mean, you got like IV fluids and whatever, and like 2 days later, it was like touched by an angel. Like she called. All of a sudden, she's talking to us. I mean, you hadn't talked to me in at least a month or more.
Yeah, I was never going to talk to any of them again.
Yeah, we were
like,
all toast.
You're dead to me.
And then she calls, and you're like your old
I'm
normal
sorry.
voice. I was like, oh wow.
No, I did.
Because
like
I think you had
36
done
hours
a lot
later.
of the detox yourself
I had.
already, which was hell.
Yeah.
And so then you were kind of there at the climax, and then it
kind
was
of
only a couple
resuscitated
days
me.
later.
Okay.
But they say like heroin can take 5 to 7, and kratom can take like 7 to 9
Okay.
because it's so
Wow.
psychotropically activating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the mental anguish that you go through with kratom withdrawal is something that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It just
Okay.
makes everything as bad as it can get. But I remember when I was first relieved of that, it was like 36 hours after I got to the hospital or something. I woke up the next day and I was just like, oh, I feel great. Let's go for a walk. Let's comb I felt like my like old grandpa. Like I'm gonna comb my hair. I'm gonna go do my laundry. I'm gonna go walk down the road and say good morning to the nurses
Down the hall.
or whatever. Not road, but trying to make it sound like grandpa there. But
Yeah, you're like, somebody gave me a comb. I'm combing my hair.
yeah. I did laundry every day I was there, even though it was like 2 shirts or something that I'd worn. I was just like, I need
made
to be
you feel
like
you
a
were
human
doing something,
again.
Yeah.
And it was like such a slow decline, and like the loss of dignity.
Yeah.
It felt like that. It was kind of a really crazy thing to just like have all the lights come on at once, and my brain it honestly feels like it's burned into my memory like a flashbulb experience, because I went from like black, dark, like it's all awful to all of a sudden I was like, bing,
You're back.
I'm back. I remember myself. Like,
yeah.
Like a movie.
Yeah.
yeah, it was. And then I ended up having a lot of fun, honestly, in my little
hospital?
psych ward.
Sure.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
making friends.
You
I
made
was-
friends.
Yeah, it was
She had a
you
good,
and you had a good time.
She had some good contemporaries.
You
Not everybody
brought
gets a good batch
to
of
life.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
Right. But I don't know.
We know someone
Have you
else.
been?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been to. No, I did go to like a little like depression camp thing.
Yeah.
And some of my contemporaries were, I ended up either worried about them or like a little afraid of them. I'm like,
Okay,
I'm
so
this is the
that's-
place for me. But someone
That's your
else we
place
know.
of reference.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
someone else we know went to actually that same place for a different thing, and they had a much rougher group.
Okay.
Their cohort.
But you had a
wasn't
good
as-
group.
I started like a hall walking club. Like
Right.
I was like, you should just hire me on as a chaplain or something. I'll stay here.
Or the well-being coach.
yeah,
for everybody.
I felt like I won that experience at
Yeah.
the end of it. So it was really
And you
nice.
did, because look at you now.
Yeah, I guess
And you're
so.
here and you're
Yes.
advocating. And it's almost like, I'm just listening to your story and listening to you and to you both kind of talk about it and relive it. And you're really reliving it again and again. It's almost like you're taking the power away.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
You are slowly minimizing the shame, because there's nothing that you can't confront now. You can relive that and you can talk about it, And the more you do that, the less shameful it is. There is a saying that shame lives in silence, or shame
in the
darkness
exists in the darkness. And secrets exist in the darkness, and that's the way that you confront those and get rid of them is to bring light to them, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's really been the kind of surprise like gift in all of this is like, oh, like I feel so much more loved now by everybody on my team, you know, my whole family and my friends. It's just like once it's all out there, that's the only way that you can really truly feel known and loved. And so it's like, I wouldn't have gotten that gift at all if it hadn't been for the hard parts of that story. So I appreciate that.
Well, I say kudos to you again.
Thank you.
Because I know that this couldn't have been an easy feat. And I just, I always think about people who have dealt with something that has been so traumatizing and having the courage to really put it out there before people.
Yeah.
Because most people don't get a chance to have that kind of courage. We talk about courage in a way that it's like, oh, this is a trait that everybody should have. But how many people would you think have the opportunity to have that courageous moment?
And by the way, some nasty people will still be nasty. That's life.
I mean,
right?
that's regardless if you have a traumatic event or not.
Right. Well, and right. You could just put yourself out there for your fashion and people are horrible, right? But so that's the point is like, we were also like, don't read the comments on all this stuff. But also there are people who are like, can get out of bed and hold their head a little higher because they're like, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And there's a few people like, I don't know if you saw Obama's former press secretary got charged and was fired for him. He was a cabinet member for the Minneapolis mayor because his was so bad he was stealing credit cards on a colleague's desk at lunch and going to buy. I mean, this is a highly accomplished person who, he's 42 years old, was in Obama's White House.
It's susceptible to.
Exactly. So, I mean, I've reached out to him. We've reached out to others. And like, actually, we have this community. And I'm like, I've never tried Crano, but I know, I've seen it and I know if people like her and I are susceptible, anyone's susceptible. And like just being able to give them a little encouragement of like, hey, this is tough. It's also pretty unfair.
Yeah.
Like this unique situation you're in is pretty unfair.
It's pretty unfair because of all of the circumstances surrounding it and how it's been marketed and how it even came into your possession.
Yes.
Into your life.
I think it's a bigger story as we move forward. Like chemistry is crazy, what they can do with these plant compounds. And it's like, I just don't think we as a society are able to handle being able to buy Euphoria from the gas station. That's something that a lot of us wouldn't be able to use responsibly. I think, when you're in the trenches of life or when you hit.
And at the very least, not even being told what it is.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's the real evil. That's the real evil, right?
And I think too, like you raise a good point. You raise a really good point. So, the history of over-the-counter, highly addictive substances, alcohol, cigarettes. I mean, it has using both of those as an example, it has taken a huge and massive public education campaign for people to really understand the dangers of that.
Yes. Not to mention the research that
use
actually
at your own risk.
Research and awareness. There's neither on this. It's like
so. I mean, this is no different, and I think there's just we need to have like a public call to action for that.
Yeah, I got my eye on the Supplement Act. Congress
so what
needs
is
to
it?
fix, but
HB.
Well, and House is in the Michigan.
You're so much you're really technical. Like HB
House Bill 5340, 5337. Shoot. Anyways, the House has voted to ban it. We're waiting for the Senate to do the same. The long and short of it is 2 states in the last 2 weeks have done emergency bans. Thank goodness. A blue one and a red one. Massachusetts a couple days ago, North Dakota last week because they're declaring it a public health emergency.
It is a public health
emergency.
Which,
I mean, I'd love for Gretchen Whitmer and then we don't have to battle this out about Republicans or whatever. She could just do that, and the legislature can do whatever it is they're doing. But I'd love to see that happen. But the point is, the states where they've kind of done the regulation, i.e., the industry says, "Oh yeah, just put a label on." The compliance is horrible. The companies are they're just putting the stuff in it, and you can find online which one have the heavy ones, and then just market it as they call it a different. It's a disaster. It's just for now you got to ban it. Eventually, if we want to research it, whatever, let's do it. But right now, like, it's like a salmonella-filled, lettuce that we're just leaving on the shelves. We don't do that in this country.
We don't. I mean, what?
Well, we try not to. But, I like Taco Bell as much as the next.
That's a whole nother conversation that we got to get into because it's real. I mean, I think just the fact that it's available over the counter for, people to purchase, and it does so much harm, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's an argument that a lot of people...
It's a public health crisis, and it's a threat.
It is.
Truly.
It is. Yeah.
A lot of people who, I mean, I think a lot of big supporters of Kratom are people who are addicted to it. I mean, which I understand. I have a lot of sympathy for that, but that's a big argument that they use. Like, what? So you're going to ban liquor too? And it's like, do we want to bring in a new
everything else too? Like, no. Okay, so have you guys gone to any of the substance use advocates conferences?
No, I feel like we are involved in this documentary on one of the major streamers, and I feel like we're getting more involved in this stuff.
Tell us about the documentary.
Well, I got in a little bit of trouble when I told somebody too much about it, but
well, just tell us a little bit.
It's going to be on a major streamer. It's going to be out early next year.
Okay.
There's a lot of people, including.
What is it?
It's about the industry.
Where I'm like around a lot of substance use advocates right now. That's not privilege. That's probably the opposite of that. And so, thankfully, I went to a conference
It's not what I've done before either.
No, I mean, I've been in behavioral health, mental health, reproductive freedom, all of the education, those kinds of things. And so I hadn't had the privilege yet. I had not quite had the privilege yet of being in this space. And I was really educated because, they had a table and they were giving out syringes, they were giving out needles, and basically I asked, why are you guys giving out needles? Like, don't want people to use? And her response was, well, that's what causes the shame and the stigma is, we want people to use responsibly. And so that was kind of something that I had to think about. Given somebody who has personally dealt with a loved one who was very deeply, alcoholism was his challenge. So given somebody who's dealt with that and the feeling of your loved one being basically, their life being taken over, I had to sit with that question a lot. It's like, okay.
Kind of feels like someone handing them.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have wanted somebody to hand him a little shot bottle and be like, well, just don't drink 5 or just don't drink the whole bottle. Yeah. That's what it did for me.
It's such a tricky thing.
But I do also, on the flip side of that coin, understand the way in which we as society promote and we facilitate and we enable these stigmas. Because it's like, you really don't talk, we don't talk about it enough. We don't encourage people that if they're going to use, do it safely.
Or maybe it's more of a journey than just you can quit immediately. Like maybe we have to get there eventually.
We have to get there. But just, not make, I think requiring people not to be able to talk about their addiction, that was not something that you felt comfortable even broaching.
True.
Like there is something that's going on with me and I don't know how to get out of it, but this is me.
Yeah.
No, that was not your story.
If I can make my last little public policy pitch, because we were on this topic and I haven't really gotten to talk about this topic in this podcast before, and then maybe we move to some lighter topics because we're pretty silly together. Actually, 90% of the time, it's our currency is like ridiculousness. But
what is your call to action with?
Well, I'll say like for people to be able to position with all the misinformation and all the noise. If Freaky Friday happens tomorrow. You go into any gas station, Kroger, and anything that said Tylenol before is morphine now. What do we do? What do we do?
You do.
Okay. And how long does it take? And okay, it might take us a minute. And maybe it takes a minute and then maybe some people end up getting hooked. And now we have that problem because we've got people that are going to have to detox. And so you have to do it right. But what do? Do we leave it there? We don't leave it there. We don't leave opiates on the counters of convenience stores. That's not reasonable. But we also can find ways to, I mean, I'm going to be advocating that like we've got these opioid settlement dollars lying around and our opioid use is down. We need to simultaneously with that ban appropriate a chunk of money and scale up on detox availability. And every place that sold kratom should have to have a sign on the door telling you where you can go get help for detox. But the point is, it's crazy, and we got to knock it off. And yes, we want to try
we
to
got to
help
knock it
and not make people suffer.
And a ban, I think you said.
It's got to be a ban.
Yeah,
got to be a ban. Federally is where we're going, but.
I agree. I mean, it's like whack-a-mole out there. Unless you do a full ban, there's just new products popping up everywhere. Like they're one step ahead. The industry is one step ahead of the bans, or not a full ban, obviously, but
alkaloids by this much and calling it something different.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we do need to definitely try our best to give people a safe off-ramp, you know, for this addiction, because it was something legal. They got it. I mean, we don't need to punish them. Certainly, nobody's interested in punishing them. Nobody's interested in shaming them, but it's not a safe thing to just leave there for new users to discover, you know, and just create this whole new batch of addicts. I mean, and that's
the thing. People that otherwise would not suffer from substance abuse disorder now have it in the worst kind of ways, and that's just not fair.
Acceptable.
Yeah, that's not acceptable.
Well. Yeah. This has been very informative, I have to say.
Well, and
thank you for sharing your story and inviting me to be part of this.
Yeah.
So sisters, sister time. So what was it like growing up together? You didn't really grow up together.
That's a good point.
One person is older by about 7 years.
We don't have to say
We're not going to say age because who, but
it's okay.
Did you grow up together, or was there like a time where you lived together? Obviously.
did.
More. So my brothers are 7 and 5 years older than me, and so 15 and 12 years older, whatever, than her. I mean, they were part of my very early childhood memories, but like those formative years of, you know, like 9, 10, 13, like they were gone, you know, and it was a very evangelical conservative kind of old school, like you got a job as soon as you could.
In the household then?
Yeah.
Oh, like your parents?
Yes, okay. And you're in a farm town in the UP. So all of it was a bit throwback.
I've known her for a little bit. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
You're a conservative?
Well, me?
Wait.
No, I was raised, I would say I'm a pragmatist.
What?
And we were raised far. I got into politics because I listened to Rush Limbaugh every summer in lieu of having a friend.
I don't know you that well.
Yeah.
I don't know you.
No, my first job was a Bush campaign, 2004, the re-elect. That was my first job.
Well, but I mean, in hindsight.
Bush is right, a normal person.
That wasn't, you know, the worst thing that could happen in hindsight.
No. And again, now, I mean, I don't know if someone...
What we had going on.
Exactly.
Yes,
this is it was civilized, and you know, like
no, but I meant like I'm talking about like, you know, evangelical.
Oh yeah,
that's because that's different than conservatism. I mean, a lot of times it goes hand in hand.
The born again Christians are a different. Yeah.
My experience in the political space is that every conservative is not evangelical.
Yes.
Is that right? Would you say that's
right.
A true
but I would say that the religious right still really, you know, is the engine space behind a lot of things. And
religious right.
Yeah, and you didn't often, I mean, there are denominations that are Christian denominations that have, you know, more, like they talk about poverty, for example, right? But the evangelical, the moral majority of the 90s, it was a one pony ride. I mean,
so what would be the two of you as sisters? Like, what would you bond over?
Not hunting.
Well, I mean, it wasn't hard. Like, I thought she was just like the coolest thing in the world. So like my early childhood memories around Lindsay are just like listening at the crack of the door when she had friends over, or like going to stand in her room and like touch all her stuff. And
that was probably kind of mean.
That's kind of like sometimes the role of a big sister. Sometimes.
I mean, that much of an age gap. Yeah, I remember you're like, I want to play. And you're like, you're 3. Like, you can't play whatever we're doing, you know?
Yeah. But we had a lot of like country memories together, like 4-wheeler rides.
We have some of that like rural like lore of like almost, you know, like some of these Instagram accounts and stuff that are like, you have country.
That.
We got
that. Yelled at by our dad on the fishing boat. You know, a lot of stuff like that to bond over. A lot of similar kind of interesting experiences.
Our only family vacation ever. ever was a place that we just left because we rented our own place there. My mom did. Gull Lake Bible Conference.
Oh, it was a Bible conference.
Yeah.
So
Church
that's
twice a
growing
day.
up.
Church twice a day. So that was our vacation, and we thought.
I know about that life though.
Yeah.
My parents were gospel musicians.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they moved us to Oklahoma so that they could go to Rhema Bible College.
Okay.
There.
Oh my gosh, we probably have some mirrored experiences. That's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, so I know about that life. a
Yeah,
little
I did
bit.
not know about the Oklahoma.
I lived in Oklahoma for 1 year of my life with my parents. Yeah, and so
because you were East Lansing for some
that's
flower
a whole
pot
story.
neighborhood.
Yes, but that's an entire thing because I lived in a lot of different neighborhoods in Lansing. I landed in East Lansing, and I also landed in my grandparents'
Yeah.
house because my parents got a divorce, and
Okay.
my SIB group and I would share 6 of us. And we're all stair steps, not like you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of like the difference is that. But yeah, we had that growing up very early on. And so I do get the church twice a day. But I feel like I liked the songs. I like the music of church.
We were playing
love
the
gospel
music most
music.
of the
We didn't
time.
have that
No, I
in
was
our
just
church,
like-
but we were.
You
Yeah,
didn't
we
have
were
music?
Well, we did, but it wasn't. It was
Yeah, I have,
like
It's either hymns or
praise
it's
and
like
worship
the
or
light
the-
Christian pop, which is kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
But- But with the musicians that you could find like in the Eastern Upper Peninsula, which is mostly just like our mom playing the piano.
We
or
had to
whatever.
play
Like
in
we-
church
Yeah,
almost
we were
every
the
week. I have
musicians.
clarinet, violin, whatever. One of us was playing. We were all musicians. It was a kind of
So
not.
you guys are musicians.
Yeah.
So you're like a violinist.
She got
though.
2 different scholarships at 2 different college for 2 different musical
Instruments.
things.
Yeah, I kind of ended up
Violin
more
and what else?
classical singing, opera.
Oh, you're an opera singer too.
I'll drop
What's
some.
that like? Most people don't understand opera.
They don't.
I love music, by the way. I'm also a musician. I just
I've
took
heard you
the
sing.
flute,
Okay.
and I'm a singer.
Yeah.
I'm just
Alright.
learning how to sing, though. That's different.
I was
than-
wondering when you
You-
said you had gospel singers in the family, if you.
I don't really. I mean,
Not that-
I don't really sing gospel, but my mother and father are gospel musicians, and so you pick up music automatically. But that doesn't mean you ever learned music.
Yeah,
So
I
I
guess
have a
that,
different type of respect for people who are like who know music from the
We had to do the
scientific
lessons.
and
We were
music
in,
theory.
Yeah, we were in lessons. Oh, the theory, so much theory, and honestly, there's nothing worse.
Is it too much?
It's awful.
You think
I
so?
didn't like it. I mean, well,
It's like math, but
yeah,
worse.
now that you know it.
Math
yeah.
plus drawing.
Well, think of how it sounds when
I
it's
just don't-
correct.
Oh yeah, I mean
like
that's
drawing out my
different.
treble clefs and all that stuff's kind of annoying.
Think of how it sounds when it's correct.
Yeah.
When you know what you can do.
That's
and you
what the
can't
classical
do,
musician
and all of
does,
those
right?
Fun things.
They do correct music, and then other types of music.
No, I mean like correct in the scope of music theory, not like correct like
yeah, but the classical music lessons I had my whole life were about you study someone else's work and you play it exactly the way they tell you to
Oh,
play
is-
it.
so that's
this
like
is
what
loud, this is
correct
short,
is
this is
supposed to be.
right. This you played at this speed versus a lot of other type of improvisational stuff and whatever you actually more learn to create. So classical music is great, but like I could play by ear, so I had that talent. Like I would have been 1,000 times more suited and benefited from something that
You
was
can play by ear.
yeah, but the reality is I was stuffed in and I was like learning a Dvorak piece and a month later you like got it at 7, and then
Some
you're
people
tweaking
get to
it.
have all the fun. I swear that is like
But
so
that
you could
wasn't-
like walk
wasn't-
into a club in Tennessee. The 2 of you could. I could definitely see that and like dominate.
I mean, I karaoke'd
the
on
stage.
I was
Saturday.
gonna say we just did. She tears it up at karaoke.
I
I
mean,
can't
it's
get out of
just-
that. I feel like I've got some perfectionism in me, and so I had to actually kind of like take some steps back after music school because I found that to be really toxic. And it's not about self-expression at a certain point in time. It's about practicing at your house before you go practice in the practice room so that you can impress. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry,
So
I'm
you
just
gotta
going to
be-
say it. Classical musicians are very serious and they're
So is
the
that how you
culture
would describe
sucks.
Melanie?
No, but I
classical
think Melanie. I
musician?
think there's like peer pressure. Like we had to, it'd be like, well, Andrea, she performed this piece. Is she really better than Jenny? And then, well, she practices 3 hours a day. She practices. They're
Oh,
all
that's the vibe. Yeah, I feel like I can get
yes,
that.
and our mom is one of those musical types too. And yes, they take themselves very very
you have to
seriously.
practice.
and that's kind of the currency.
Practice.
And they're
So that you can be
It's a lot of
the best.
personalities.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, yeah, I can see that being a lot. I never had
That's
to see.
why-
I mean, I guess. Well, look, I say some people have all the fun because you can play by ear. You know your stuff. You can walk into any room and be like, "Give me an A flat."
We've got a few takeaways, but
Yeah, but I might want to like go crawl in a hole for a month afterwards because I'm like, oh, I was pitchy or whatever. Like, you gotta like. It's been a lot more fun coming back to it after like growing up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like emotional maturity, even like going through opening up about the kratom stuff. I feel like that has changed the way I sing because it changes the way that I show up in the world. It changes my openness. It
It's
changes
more
my
about self-expression and how you
podcast, right? You're
and
just
the
kind of
feeling
like,
that comes
who
with it.
cares? Like, just throw.
So
put
what's the
yourself out there.
song that you guys are writing? This is not a serious question. It
No,
can
she
be
doesn't want to create
like,
art with
no,
me.
no. So, but if you were to write a song, what would it be
boy.
named? The two
It
of
would
you.
be
You
like
have to
a
be like
parody,
Yeah.
stupid.
It'd be like house
silly.
music.
Sing it.
and silly.
Start. What's the first line?
No.
First of all, what's the title of the song?
Like gravy.
Gravy. What is
It's
the
gonna be
gravy about
like
this whole
old
situation?
Food, like old food, like roast beef and gravy.
Yeah. What's the
And,
gravy
like-
about? I mean, bring it to
Like
life for me.
it's gonna
Like,
be
what is the gravy
some
in this situation?
backwoods. I can't give you like the deep meaning, but it's going to be a parody about growing up in
The backwoods.
rural near Canada in a conservative enough. It's like we were on the Little House on the Prairie, and it's going to be the camouflage.
Silly.
and the
Something where we
gravy.
can wear costumes, maybe change costumes.
We actually
That
thought
would
of
be
wearing
fun. I can
costumes
totally see
today,
it.
and then we
like-
had an idea to get each other. We should play this game real quick, and we'll do another. We can go a little into this. Cool, but there's a lot there.
There's a lot
And
there.
Melanie, I don't know if this.
What's the melody?
Now that you're I don't know if you're still doing some of the voices that you did, but Melanie had some
Fun voices.
real fun voices. A woman named Deb, who was at like
Who
a
is Deb?
2-3 pack a day smoker, and she'd leave me voice memos.
Be like, Lindsay, this is damn. I can't do it right now.
You got it.
I can't
You
even
got it.
remember. What was I,
I could
saying
play
to you?
if I saved one, I'll just play it on the thing. Oh, Deb was kind of. She had some
was
views
rough
that were a little
country.
rough, but
I'm trying to think. It'd be mostly just talking to her about like, well, I had to get a mare of mine up to the vet down in Rayburn today because we got to get a new set of shoes on her, but I could swing by later if you want me to pick up that pumpkin casserole.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
That's Deb.
that's Deb.
I love it. I love it.
Sometimes
I
she'd
love
leave
it.
messages about, did you leave me that carton and cigarettes in the mailbox? Like you said you would.
What about cigarettes? 'Cause my alter ego loves to smoke cigarettes.
Your
Alter
alter ego.
ego,
You have an
yes.
alter ego.
Deb.
As we have to play this game
Yep.
because I feel like the two of you would be really interesting together. It's the Do You Know Your Wife game.
Yes.
You have all of the viewers have seen this before if you have been keeping up with the Better Than Average podcast.
There you go.
So this
We
is
saw
a
Shaquilla versus-
fan favorite of the
I've been looking
the
forward
pod.
to
And I've never been on this end of the game. Well, maybe once, but Shaquilla normally gets I just go through that thing random because it's just full of delights. And normally
Okay.
Shaquilla's like, man, you're always interviewing me half the time. I'm like, well, whoopsie.
Okay.
You showed up.
So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and then we're going to switch it up. And we'll see whoever gets, okay, so we need a little wager here. Whoever wins the challenge, what do you get?
I think
You get like
true
a
to
new pair of
Deb.
shoes.
I think
you gotta get a pack of
I was going
cigarettes.
to say $20 scratcher.
Oh, okay. I was
$20
gonna say, what's
scratcher.
she gonna do with all the cigarettes?
Yeah, I don't need cigarettes, but I like your style.
Yeah, but you do scratch off. There we go.
$20 scratch off.
Okay. So how often does she generally shop for groceries? Is it once a week or less, twice a week, 3 times a week or more?
I'm answering.
You're answering.
I just say I'm going to say that she's probably 3 times or more. She's getting something delivered that she forgot, or like I don't.
3 times or more.
Yes, 3 times or more.
Definitely if you include the raw milk farm trip from my oldest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 times or more. Correct. Okay. If her best friend passed along a juicy piece of gossip and warned her not to tell a soul, would she tell you?
Well, yeah, I don't count. We're blood. I mean, like.
You're a soul. Will she tell you? So yeah, that's a
Probably.
yes. Is that true? Okay.
Probably.
All right.
I also
Sorry,
know I'm not going to
friends.
tell anybody, but I'm going
But
to tell
you're
my
not going to
kids.
tell us.
Yeah.
A goat.
Right. Okay. Does she send a photo to a friend or you at least once a week?
Yeah. Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once
yes.
a day.
And she does it once a day.
Just about.
Well,
it depends on
but
the
at least
season.
once a week. So
Yeah.
I mean,
You're like
she got-
screenshotting something.
Yeah.
You're
Oh
like-
gosh, I was like, look
And
at
you're
that
sending
duck.
out-
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, final question on your end. If you wanted to surprise her by making reservations at the favorite restaurant, which place should you call?
Gosh.
I think you could even do genre, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would try to
It could
look
be
up that place
or-
in Brighton that had the gluten-free buffalo wing or the gluten-free boneless wings. I'm just
I'm
thinking
saying
about
that's a good answer.
That's a good
That's a good
Is that
answer.
the place?
Because, well, in my mind, I was kind of more thinking the other answer.
Punk Taco is closed.
What were you say?
I was going to say Punk Taco
Because
is closed.
I was going to
We
say
loved it.
Mexican. So maybe you give her half.
Half a point. Okay, so you got all four right.
There we
Or
go.
is that 5.5?
3.5.
3.5. Okay, you're 3.5. All right, ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. So if she had the chance to have her fortune told for free, would she? Would she, one, accept and heed the fortune teller's words? I need readers.
It's okay. Me too.
It's all right. You look 30, so.
Thank you.
Just get some cute readers. No one
I
will
have
know.
some in my bag. I just
Yeah.
don't have them because. Okay, so would she accept and heed the fortune teller's words? A. B. Accept, but treat the thing like a whole joke. Or C. Decline because she thinks the stuff is nonsense. If she had to have her fortune read.
I'm going with the middle one. I think you'd do it and you'd be silly about it.
But treat it like it's a joke. Is that right?
Yeah. That's right. I would say that's right.
Okay.
Old me would have definitely accepted and then like taken it seriously, but like I don't really mess with that stuff anymore. So
She's out of the dark arts.
yeah,
She left Kratom and the dark arts
Yeah.
together at the U of M
I'm
cycle.
not a witch no more.
All right. So that's ding, ding, ding. Number 1. That's 1 point for you. Has she kept any object, a book, a toy, a doll since childhood?
Ooh.
If so, what is it?
This is interesting because I'm way more nostalgic and sentimental than she is. Like, I think if I gave her something really nice right now, she might not have it tomorrow. I'm going to say yes, that you've got like 1 or 2 things where I've got every birthday card that anyone wrote me for my entire childhood.
Yeah, I got my blankie that mom made. I
Oh, her blankie.
Linky, she's
I
got
don't
it in
like
the
sleep
car.
with it or anything, but I got it.
Okay. All right. So that's 2. Okay. So now here's the next one. You ready? Okay. It's late night and she receives a phone call with somebody on the other end, heavy breathing, screaming obscenities.
Ooh.
Does she A, panic? Does she B, hang up and go back to sleep? C, keep listening? D, yell at the caller? E, laugh? Or F, hand the receiver to you?
That's a
Which
lot of
one does
options.
she
Let's
do?
just say if I'm there.
What does she do?
What was the first one again? Panic?
Panic.
The hybrid, if I'm there, is you're going to panic and then hand the receiver to me. If I'm not there, I think you just panic.
I feel like I was going for this call is not for me. I've never been
You
called
never
late
been
at night to be
called
yelled at. Like I just don't.
for
it-
Well, it said
obscenities
heavy
or-
breathing.
Yeah,
Oh,
heavy
oh.
breathing. So
who
let's
do
just
I know
say-
that breathes heavy like that?
Well, it's
They're
supposed to
yelling-
be scary.
It's supposed to
Okay.
be. Like, what if it's random?
I definitely, if she's there, I'm definitely handing her the receiver. But I was thinking more like this wrong number is really hilarious. Like, what do we do?
Yeah, I was
here?
thinking there might
So
be a
would you keep
laugh
listening?
teased in there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Would you be like,
I got
really?
some accidental voice messages.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
years ago that we still like have.
We
as
still
a-
saved them. There was one that was like, "This is Gerbert Schlocker down on some. Your beef is ready for pickup. The cattle is ready for pickup." This is like some guy in Indiana. He's like, we're at 44. You know, it was it's just gold. Like that. We're like, God smiled on us today.
Because that is hilarious.
That
That
we got
cattle
this
is ready
voicemail.
for-
Your
Maybe
beef.
it was for Deb.
He like shouted the word.
Maybe
beef.
Wait,
that call
wait,
was
so-
for really for Deb.
We said beef. Your beef.
Actually, Yeah, my daughter, we told her this story. She's got a whole lore where Gilbert Schlocker is part of the Deb universe, and they like are friends with each other. So, I mean, this is going.
She's
sounds
got a
crazy,
lot of great
but
voices.
A little creativity in the family.
Okay, so that question you didn't quite get.
Can I have a half?
You can have half.
I'll give her a half.
Because
Give her
if
half,
I'm there,
'cause you
she is
would
going to
kind
hand
of
me the
panic,
phone.
But you would also sit there and listen.
And
play
laugh.
games with the person and be like, oh, really? Okay. All right, so this is the last one. How old was she when she had her first date?
Oh, her.
Her.
Okay, so is this a sanctioned date? Like everyone's on board, mom and dad know what's happening. You pick you up in the Chevette.
I
or
don't know. When she had her first.
No,
it's
you're the-
just
you
the
tell- you're in
first
charge.
Date. It is the first date. You
14.
can't sanction the date.
Okay,
you
you're right.
can't make
Because it
like,
wouldn't change the age.
oh,
I
did
guess.
mom and dad know? Does that make it any less the first?
Probably not. If it was a date, I'm going to say 14.
15. Sorry.
I was close to 15, but I thought
15.
I did get boobs a little earlier than you did, so
lot
I understand
earlier.
why you went.
I looked like a boy until like 12th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that.
And then 12th grade, I was like, here
She
I
was a
come.
late bloomer. It's okay.
I was like a little teeny tiny stick.
Well,
And
it
I was
works for
I
you
was naughty.
now.
I mean, I got all A's, but I was such a clown. And
It works for you now.
Oh, thanks.
'Cause you seem like you have an active life.
Oh.
I'm sure your DMs are probably like
No.
going off the rails.
no one talks to me. Actually, I
They
talk
love
to
her. She doesn't give them the time of day a lot of times.
I can tell by how people
I
respond
think people
to
like
you.
me in person, but I don't. I'm just a home alone or with my children. I don't do anything, Nicole.
You've had a lot of life changes recently yourself.
I'll tell you what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something my dad
now,
would
like,
say.
You are, your
don't know.
category has your status
Yeah,
has changed
but like
a
I
little
just
bit.
try to keep.
So you can get DMs and you can be like,
I don't though. I don't think I've ever gotten one.
you don't get a DM. Do you check them?
A man who's a Walt Disney historian asked me if he could be on the podcast.
And
So I'll
that
get a
was your
couple of
DM?
things like that.
Did you say yes?
And one was like a woman who like teaches her teenagers about credit, and she wanted me to have her on. I was like, y'all, we're not there yet.
And that was the.
We're not there yet.
They teach people to do that on LinkedIn, but that's not
Yeah.
the kind of DMs I'm
I don't know.
asking about.
I'm in
And so
there.
you're not
I
getting
don't know.
those.
I don't even know how
Are
to
you
do.
sure?
Maybe I should
If
check my
somebody was
spam.
like flirting with you, do you think you would know?
I don't know.
She would know, but she's not like.
I don't-
I
How many
she
people
was
flirt?
doing
I don't like
karaoke
anybody.
this weekend, and I was there, and everybody was in love with her.
I see. That's
but
what I
she
mean.
just
Like people
doesn't
would
even-
probably like.
I don't notice. This was fun though. Okay, so I Like It by Cardi B. And then, it's Bad Bunny or whoever it is that does all the Spanish. And
Yeah.
a dude, probably Cuban guy, jumps up, Carlos, and grabs the mic and does the Spanish part for
Oh,
me.
nice.
I mean, I was like, this is meant to be. It was
very
great.
It was
special.
meant to be.
It was
very
special. Now, the problem is he didn't really know the song, so he kind of sucked it up. But
But I mean, it's kind of like, he had the rhythms.
I did the, and he did the words. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So,
I
mean, I
rapped.
guess that.
I like that you chose that song with no plan for all the Spanish, though. Like,
yeah, I was like, we're gonna see how this goes.
Audience participation.
Oh yeah, except for no one knew Spanish. Also, that was no one else knew Spanish besides Carlos. But you know what? Then he brought me up to sing a Spanish song. I mean,
Spanish
that
song?
was tough. He just was
Do you
like,
speak
well,
Spanish?
like un poquito, like not really.
like-
but then it was like a funny thing that I couldn't do Spanish, so he did Spanish songs later, and somebody brought me a mic and I had.
Well, I'm
that.
sure that was probably, you guys just left your family vacation.
We did.
And you had it sounds like you had a time was had.
We did. Nobody fought. My dad didn't try to leave. He tried to leave early, but he decided
make it.
against
he
it.
locked
which
in.
was great.
Finished in a good
Nope.
mood.
I don't think there was any tears. And they're normally like from me or like my not the kids.
The adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you cried once, but that was just a little. That was a fluke.
I was tired. I got
That was
little
a fluke.
kids. It's hard to travel.
fluke.
It's just sleepy, and I get sad sometimes.
Well,
but-
yeah.
You just get tired.
But
and
it was
you're
a-
like, I need a nap. I need to get some sleep.
yeah.
Hey, so why don't we bring you back for part 2 after 60 Minutes airs, or maybe
I
even
wanna
after the
hear about how
documentary?
this goes.
And even if we have Shaquille too, the 4 of us can.
We can talk about this
Yes,
whole
we
thing.
can.
You guys have to
Great.
keep me informed
We
about
will.
what happens. But
We will.
this has been wonderful. It's been wonderful to meet you and learn from you.
You too. It's been a blast.
And I'm wishing you all the best.
She is the best. It's
The
great.
sisters.
All right. It's a wrap.
Cheers.
Cheers.